Good morning, everybody. Some huge breaking news from Fulham. They have announced they have sacked manager Slaviša Jokanović and replaced him with former Leicester City and Chelsea manager Claudio Raneiri. So during Jokanovic's time in England, he managed Watford to the Premier League, and then they couldn't agree on a new contract and left. He then went to Maccabi Tel Aviv before joining Fulham in December 2015. During his 2 seasons there, he was very successful. Very successful. The first season he got them, his first full season, he got them into the playoffs, and they lost to Reading, who lost to Huddersfield. Second season, once again another playoff, but this time a success, beating Aston Villa in the final to get promoted to the Premier League. Very impressive indeed. But things haven't gone too well since for Jokanović. Fulham, they're bottom of the league. They played 12, won 1 game. That was the 4-2 victory over Burnley. 2 draws and 9 defeats. 11 goals scored, but 31 goals conceded, which is, I think, was a record, or is still a record. Minus 20 goal difference, just 5 points picked up. The fact is, if you're shipping, you're already on minus 20 goal difference. That's an issue. So they've gone with Raneiri. So Raneiri, he has managed a load of clubs over his time. He's a very experienced manager. He's managed Napoli. He's managed the likes of Valencia, Atletico Madrid. Obviously, that spell at Chelsea where he was there for 4 years and actually had Jokanović in his side. Then he went to the likes of Valencia, Parma, Juventus, Inter Milan, Roma, and Monaco. He managed Greece for a while back in 2014 and really struggled. And then the news came in 2015 that Leicester City had decided to go with him, and that was a shock. I was very cynical. I thought it was stupid. Obviously, they sacked Nigel Pearson, who got them out of trouble, and I thought they would go down, definitely. That was my honest opinion. And I'm not going to sit here and say it was anything else, because that would be a lie. And I believe most people thought the same, or at least similarly. Anyway, obviously, everybody knows what happened with Leicester City. An amazing achievement, winning the league. The next season, they really struggled. They found himself in the relegation zone, and he was sacked after a 2-1 defeat in Seville in the Champions League. He then went on to manage Nantes in the French League, having a 37% win ratio. I think they finished around mid-table. And then he was relieved of his duties back in May. So now he is manager of Fulham. This is what Shahid Khan has said about the proceedings. Wait, no, this is what Raneiri said. It is an honour to accept the invitation to lead Fulham, a fantastic club of a tradition and history. It's objective. Fulham should never merely survive in the Premier League. We must at all times be difficult to the opponent and should expect to succeed. This Fulham squad is exceptional talent that is contrary to its position in the table. I totally agree with that. I know this week this team is very capable of better performances, which we will work on straight away as we prepare for Southampton, at the Cottage. Khan went on to thank Slaviša Jokanović for everything he had done at the club, scoring promotion back in May. I wasn't anticipating having to make this announcement related to Slaviša, and wish the circumstances had been different so he didn't need to, but he feels like he's made the correct decision. And I'm not sure if Raneiri is the correct appointment, but they needed to do something. Look, he is because of what he did at Leicester. He is a very big name, and the fact is they are underperforming. And they have a lot of very good players. Sessegnon's a very good player. Mitrovic, Tom Kearney, they haven't got a lot out of this season. Schürrle, Lamarckand I really like, Jean-Michel Seri as well. So a lot of very, very good players, and Guisa another one. But it's not really clicked, and this is a very, very, very pivotal time. And they have acted first. They're the first club to sack, and they have some games coming, some really, really tough games and some winnable games. So going up to the 1st of January, the next game, as mentioned by Claudio himself, was the Southampton at home. Massive game. Absolutely huge game. He needs to get off to a winning start. Then they go away to Chelsea, which will be very, very tough. Home to Leicester City, the former employers of Claudio Raneiri. He spent a lot of time there over the last few weeks after the tragic helicopter crash. After that, Manchester United away, a very, very tough game. West Ham at home, winnable game. Newcastle away, winnable game. Wolves at home, winnable game. Followed by Huddersfield Town at home. So there's some games coming up they need to start getting some points out of. Look, they've got some really, really good players going forward, but it's all about tightening things up. And I feel he'll be able to do that. If you look at the Leicester City team that won the league, their defence is absolutely ridiculous. It was Danny Simpson, it was Robert Huth, Wes Morgan and Christian Fuchs. So if that can win in the league, he surely can get a tune out of some of these players. All he just needs to, if they tightened up, I think they'd be fine. So I feel as long as he can just tighten them up, he's got a couple of weeks before they come back, and I feel like that's the right thing to do. I really, really admire a couple of things that they've done here. They've gone straight away. They've announced that they've sacked him, and they've announced their replacement straight away. This gives there's no speculation. There's no speculation, number one. Fans won't be like, oh, disappointed that he's the man, because they've got no choice. It's not like, I don't know, I can't think of anyone. Nuno Espirito Santo's linked, for example, and they really wanted him. And the replacement's Ranieri, they can't really, that won't happen because obviously there is no linkage. And third of all, they've done it at a very, very good time. Because, as I say, they've got some winnable fixtures coming up. A couple of difficulties. But they've got some decent fixtures coming up. And they're in the international break, which allows them a couple of weeks to work with the players. Now, some of them will definitely be obviously on international duty, likes of Seri, I would imagine, and people like that. But there'll be some players that aren't, which would be very, very good. Alfie Mawson, for example, hasn't been called up. Joe Bryan, Ryan Sessegnon will be out, and Bettinelli will be out. Callum Chambers will be there, and people like that. So they have some time to work with some of the players that aren't called up for international duty, which would be very, very good indeed. And then he'll have some time before. So he has a couple of weeks to work his plan out, have a look, and I feel like that is a very, 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 very good decision. Listen, it's sad because he did so well, but the fact is they were going to go down. They were going to go down, and they needed to make a better decision. Whether he'll keep them up or not, I don't know. But I think as long as he sorts the defence out, I think they'll be fine. They've got too much quality going forward, the likes of Mitrovic, Schürrle, Seri, and people like that. They have so much quality that it should be okay. They should not be in this position. And the fact is, I'm sure, in an ideal world, he wouldn't wanted to have sacked him. But there was just simply no other option. They were going to go down. And you know, they lost to Huddersfield. And I think that result was the one that really, really, really shattered everything. Because they're never going to get anything at Liverpool, but they needed to get something against Huddersfield, and they lost 1-0. And not only did they lose 1-0, they barely laid a glove on Huddersfield. I know they had a goal or two disallowed. But they were offside so many times, and they just didn't create much. And you could tell that it was over. But there was no point at that time sacking him, because it was only Liverpool away. And that was a guaranteed loss. And to be fair, they kept the score down to 2-0, which I was very, very surprised at. But yeah, they haven't even picked up a point since the 22nd of September. And then before that, they haven't even, the last time they won a game was the 26th of August. So disappointing in the end for Jokanović. At the end of the day, these things happen. These things need to happen in football, and they need to move on. And that's exactly what they've done. They've gone with somebody experienced. They've gone with somebody that can tighten the defence and get the best out of the players. So overall, I think it's a good appointment, and they should at least be challenging to get out of there. But under Jokanović, I'm 99% sure they would have actually got relegated. Very, very tough decision, obviously, after an amazing achievement by Jokanović. 2 amazing seasons playing glorious football. But unfortunately, his time has run out. So please tell me your thoughts down below. So subscribe if you are new. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Really, really does help the channel out. Thanks so much for everyone who watched. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.